Hello, hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with Anke today. So excited. I want to tell you a bit about her, and I have so many questions for her about her incredible style. You're going to be seeing her beautiful artwork. We do have a giveaway at the end, so stay tuned of one of Anke's books she illustrated. Be sure to put your questions in the Q&A panel so we see them, and you can find that down there. And the comments, feel free to put your comments in the comment panel. Kim, are we getting people on here? Did I do it right?
Yeah, there's about 55 people so far.
Oh, wow. Okay. It says one, but that's because it's you in the background.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So Anke is one of my illustrators that I represent, and she is from Berlin. She says she loves color and seeing all the little big things in life. They make her smile and open her heart. And that's exactly the feeling she wants to give back to you with her art. One of Anke's big dreams is living at the water and drawing from her garden studio. Her client list includes Random House Penguin UK, Sterling Publishing, Meredith Corporation for a whole series with Better Homes and Gardens, a do-it-yourself series, World Vision, Design House Greetings, Calypso Cards, Kaufman Fabrics, Williamson Homes, Azutora, Not Like You Designs, Rosler Paper, Guch Verlag, Style Heads, Nobis Design, Edding, and Faber-Castell. And thank you so much for not making fun of my German pronunciation. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anke, it's so great to have you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here today. So exciting.
That's so great. And we love the wall behind you. That's so beautiful. And we're going to see some of your art shortly. So great. How is your English so good? How is it so good?
I think it's my friends, and also, I don't know, after school it wasn't that good, but I've been traveling. Actually, it started, like 2001. I went with a good friend to Burning Man, and I did. Yes, in the next year I went again, and I did all this organization, and and then we met friends at Burning Man, and I think I've been like 6 times in San Francisco because I actually fell in love in San Francisco, but then I didn't stay there. So it made me go a lot there. So I think this, made my English.
So fantastic, so fantastic. We're going to talk a lot about your process because everybody's interested in that. But before we do, and thank you everybody for joining us. We're so happy you're here. I would love to know how you became an illustrator. How did you become an illustrator?
I think that's a bit a longer journey. So I've been always drawing or being creative already as a child in school. I remember that I had in Germany you can take classes where you put more weight on. So I decided for art and also mathematics. So that wasn't, everyone was always like, ooh, that's a mixture.
Yeah, that's a mixture.
Yeah, and so I've been doing this, and then after school I did media design and been working there, and also I've been thinking of do I do communication or film, and at some point I started to print on t-shirts, and I took a lot of photographs actually, and then worked on these and put them on the shirts, and I started a t-shirt brand, and for this brand I started drawing more again, and in the end I've been drawing all the motifs for the prints. And then at some point I think after 10 years I decided that I really want to do more illustration, because I love to do the products and the process for the prints, but it was just a tiny little bit of work for the label. It was 10%, and I really wanted to draw, so I decided to put my focus on this. And
And
then
then what, so how did you start making illustrations, work that looked more illustrative, more like illustrations? Or what did you do to get to the next step before I took you on? What was your path?
I took maths classes.
Oh, that's right. Of course. That's where I discovered you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I loved your work in there. We'll be seeing some of that. It's very beautiful. Oh, so that's what you did. So you did that. And that's so key. People need to make their portfolio that attracts the work. And as an agent, that's of course what we look for. Any agent is to see that your work appeals to a broad or a number of markets. Okay, so when you were here last time, you came out here for our retreat last September. This year, of course, it'll be virtual, but last year you came out. And so for people watching, I have a retreat here for my artists. And one of the things we do is some of the artists, if they like, do a show and tell. It can be about an art medium, a product, a way they work, whatever. And Anke talk to us about something that we all really, really enjoyed. And I'm going to ask her today if she would share a little bit about it. It's about her views on money and prosperity and how that changed from, if you want to say, where it started, your view of money, and then how you evolved that.
Okay, where to start? I don't know what was like the exact starting point, but at some point, you know, I was living from like months to months, and I was in this like kind of scarcity, you said like this, or scarcity mindset, where I was like, oh, it's not enough, and you know, where you like focus on like having less. And I started like a coaching, and my coach, she specialized in money mindset. So I started to take care of this and to work on all my, actually, you know, we all have so many beliefs, how we grew up, and which influence us. And so I looked at all these things to let, like, I would say, like, more bad beliefs go, to grow into better beliefs, to flourish also my business. And yeah, I mean, I think I started like almost 2 years ago or 1.5 years ago with this. And it takes some time, but at some point, yeah, sure, I started that things are changing and I look different at things. And, you know, I had like short times where I was like, oh my God, panicking about all these things. And I learned to be so much more trusting over working on my money mindset.
So, for example, what is a new positive mindset that you might say to yourself or that you have?
Actually, you know, I mean, as working as an artist, it's like jobs sometimes are more flowing or less flowing. And I think earlier I would have been much more in panic, like if there's like maybe a break. But right now I'm just more, you know, we're sending out work, but I'm trusting that things are flowing to me, you know, and I know it's all there. So yeah, this is something new.
You picture a flow of the money and prosperity coming to you. I think that's so critical. You know, I did that 1 billion years ago when I started out I read a book called Prospering Woman, I think in the 80s, 1980s.
Wow. Okay.
And it changed me too. It did. And it's about viewing. So you start with the mindset, of course, and then what happens is you take actions that you might not have if you thought, well, I'm never going to make it. I'm always going to be poor artist. People say, which I find offensive when people say, oh, starving artist. I find that a really offensive term. It doesn't help people thrive and to flourish. So I think it's wonderful. And I want to tell the viewers, we noticed a difference in Anke from the previous year at the retreat to this time. Last year, she was just radiant and positive and like it's a spiritual thing that like attracts like. It's physics too, right? So
Yeah.
if you put out positivity and positive energy, you're going to attract. And I know as an agent, we don't want to take on a bummer, right? We want to take on somebody who's joyful and feels it, not fake and not happy face. You know, I've talked about that. Not interested. You don't have to be, oh, everything's great. No, that's delusional. But we're talking about a positive attitude, so you attack problems and challenges as opportunities. You know all this stuff, everybody. So let's go on to the next thing. What would be your dream project and why?
Actually, yeah, it's the right question after this, because I've just been thinking of this the last days, and as I'm doing a lot of mindset work, I would love to do something about this, because I think it's so important. You know, my values for my art is like that I want to inspire people and that I want to empower them. So I really would love to work on these kind of illustrations, also to empower them to grow their mindset or change their mindset, like, you know, with affirmations or quotes or exercises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would be lovely.
Actually, I'm going to launch the poll. So
Yeah.
if you all want to fill that out. So let's see. What do you love about being an artist in Berlin? Berlin is such a culturally exciting city. Some say the most exciting in Europe right now. Have I heard that? Is that true?
Yeah, probably. The thing is, yeah, right now it's a bit more quiet. I mean, things started again since May, but you know, you can't go out dancing, sure. Actually, what I love is like all the different nations to see here and all the different styles. I really love to watch people in the streets, and sure, to have all the exhibitions around. Whenever, like for myself, I need to go more to this. You know, when you live in a city, most of the time you're living and doing your life. So yeah, I think I could use much more all what's around.
Well, you know, and one of the things I loved when you did an illustration for I think boot camp before I took you on, I saw you do that, or maybe it was the Global Talent Search. And the people you drew, I just thought were so wonderful. And I want to advise everybody, draw people that you see around, not just always the ones in your head, but look and walk around in your town or your city and go to different places, museums, cafes, or the hardware store, you know, anywhere, and begin to sketch and draw and get that database of iconography of different people. We have a question from anonymous attendee that asks, Anke, what is the thing on the wall behind you that says, what's your vision? Can you tell us about that?
That's actually a card. I mean, I have it there as my reminder. It's next to my desk, so I see it every day. So it's like, yeah, what's your vision? Go for it. And I took once, what is it? Not really coaching. It was about it was a workshop, like 2 days about my brand, because I wanted, you know, when I switched from the t-shirt brand to illustration, I was still in like, do I combine it? How can I combine it? So we looked at all the different parts and sorted these things. And from the guys who did the workshop with me is this card.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Why don't you hold up some of your products? You want to show us that beautiful journal that
I did.
Yes.
I just like this. 2 minutes.
Yes, so beautiful. And will you read that to us and tell us what it means in English as well?
It's a quote from Monet, and it says like, I have to have flowers always, always. Mm-hmm. And actually, I think I've been drawing it 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. You know, I had like lunch break, and then it was like the time for these flowers, and I was like, oh, I need to draw them now. So I just sat down, and then I saw like I've been talking to my coach and friend, and we've been thinking like also about products, and then it just was like, yeah, I see journals all the time, and then I was like, yeah, I just do it.
It's beautiful. Do you want to show us your Anne Frank book?
Yeah. So this is here.
That's great. And
Yeah.
the interiors. So you fully illustrated this graphic novel.
Yeah, it's like for I think 7+ kids. So and it's like every page is illustrated.
Or I guess I shouldn't say graphic novel. I should say that it's middle grade, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So it's her story and her life, and then you see like, yeah.
So many illustrations.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to tell everybody at the end, we're going to have a raffle giveaway for the book. So we will send you a copy of this Anne Frank book. It is in English. So
I really loved the project. It was great. Also with the,
what did you like about the project?
I like that you really dive into a bigger story, and that you have like a bigger project for some more weeks or months, and that you're really like in. And I always find me that I mean, sure, she was a real person, but it's like you become friends with the person you're drawing, you know, and it's then part of your life. And I really like this. Whenever, for sure, that was a really sad theme, and I remember like I had like really bad dreams in the beginning.
Yeah, it would be a hard book to do too.
Mm-hmm.
Will you show us, to shift gears now, your do-it-yourself illustrations for your home?
Sure.
That's shifting gears, huh?
I mean, I just got this week. This is actually the latest issue. Oh God, from summer. Do you see this?
Yes.
So I do it like every 3 months.
Can you move one of those closer? Yeah, that's great. And then
okay.
Yeah, that's good. And the other one?
This is like, you know, handy girl. It's like the girl who takes, or let's say, what she does stuff at home. So I illustrate like every certain months. For the magazine is out every certain month, and yeah,
that's great. And when she shows her portfolio, I'll put it on the screen so you'll be able to see her art much more in detail. We have some questions. Anna Marie MJ says, how much time did it take for you to do such an amazing project, the Anne Frank project?
I think I had like 4 weeks for the sketches, and in the end, actually also 4 weeks for the finals, but it was around Christmas, so it ended up like being 3 weeks. And yeah, and it's been like 100 illustrations, and it was like I took notes and I wrote down every illustration I needed to do, and I calculated the time what I can do, and then I just marked off every day the illustrations to know that I'm in the schedule.
Good. Nancy Salas asks, Anke, how did you get hired to do illustrations for the Anne Frank book? And I can answer that. She has an agency, Lilla Rogers Studio, and we have all the relationships with so many clients. So we show the work. Sometimes a client will call us and they want one of our artists for a project already. Sometimes they ask for suggestions. So all those things. Sarah Papworth, one of my artists I represent. It's so nice to see you here, Sarah. Asks, I love your drawings. I love your drawings behind. Are they all watercolor, and how long do they take you to create?
No, it's not all watercolor. I mean, like in this area, it's more gouache. I mix, you know, and watercolor, like most of it is watercolor. Like an example, sometimes, you know, I also like to know how much time it takes me. For example, for the peacock on this side, I know for coloring, it took me 5.5 hours or 6 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, I go very detailed with watercolor. So yeah, right.
It's beautiful. And you know, I always say give a lot in your piece. Now, give a lot doesn't mean you have to load it up with everything. And it can be taking a long time or a short time, but you're fully present and you're giving your best. Anna Bianchi, good to see you here. She asks, how do you adapt your style from happy flowery stuff to things that are more serious like Anne Frank or other serious matters?
How to adapt? I think it's just, I don't feel like adaptation. It's just like
All the same.
diving in and then somehow, yeah, not somehow, just doing it. So it's just, yeah.
Right. I don't think, I think it's just your style. And if you're, whatever you're asked to draw, you draw and
Yeah,
you tune in, which is good to, if your style is transferable to a number of different moods and themes and imagery. Of course, it can, you always can change up the colors. The interiors of the Anne Frank book are two color, one color. Is it black?
yeah. I
Color?
think they did it with, yeah, it's one color actually. And what I really have to say, the Anne Frank book is completely no watercolor. I did the sketches by hand, and then I've been working just in Photoshop with color layers and masks. So that was very interesting. And what I really also love on like with illustration is like I always learn something new.
Mm-hmm. Did you use like a Wacom tablet or on Photoshop?
Yeah.
Photoshop? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Linda Varro says, and then we're going to look at your portfolio. Anke, when you're creating just for your joy, what do you prefer to do?
Just for my joy. I do a lot of flowers and natural things like birds, and yeah, I start to do more people because I really, yeah, I fell in love with them too.
So
but actually, what I'm really drawn to a lot of natural things. Yeah.
Good. Okay, I see your questions here, people, and we will try to get back to them, but I want to show everybody your gorgeous work because that is the highlight. So let us share the screen, and we're going to go boom and boom. And here we have her gorgeous work. So this is one of my favorite pieces of yours, the bird, the flowers. It's magical, it's mystical, it's dreamy, it's very carefully rendered. The watercolor is so beautiful. Do you want to say anything about this one?
I love this one too. Thanks for your words. And I've been, it was for the first round of GTS.
Oh, that's
really, yeah. And that was also for journal cover. And I was like, yeah, I think it needs to go on a journal for real.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And notice how the imagery pops against the dark background. Everything she wants you to see, your eye goes to. The flowers, of course, at first, then the bird, then the lettering, or something along those lines. But she really controls what you see, and it's a clear read. So let's go to the next one. Let me do that. Okay, tell me about this one.
That's my favorite musician. She's Agnes Obe, and I really, really, really love her music. And when I started to draw more, do more illustrations, sometimes I was like nervous about like, okay, no, I need to start. And as soon as I put her music on, it's just like, it calmed me down and it focused me. And yeah, I can always listen to it.
Oh, you know what I forgot to show? I forgot to show your workbook. So let's do that. Make sure we show that at the end, what I called your sketchbook, but you call workbook. Okay, I love these. Tell us about these. Is this, are these watercolor and then a traditional media, then you scan in?
No, that's gouache, and yeah, sure, and then scanned in. And actually I started this for the 100-day project, and I had the idea to do like, God, what is it in English? To do like a little game, you know? So I first posted these little items, and then I was like, who do you think it is? And then in the end, I just said like, so now we have.
Yeah, they're really beautiful, really powerful. They're very graphic, yet they have the sensibility of gouache, and you see the texture. So that could also explain how you attracted that Anne Frank job. The client must have seen that.
Yeah.
And here we go. This is a better view of her Anne Frank book and the interiors. Nice shot, nice styling, by the way. Okay, tell us about this gorgeous piece.
That was about morning routine, also from your, I think, well, no, it was editorial maths class. And it was about an article about morning routines of successful women. And sure, I've been taking what they do and put it all together there. And also, I mean, I also have my morning routine, so I put it in there too, what I do. And I just thought like the bird is just, yeah, flying into the day.
It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. Very limited palette of colors, but
yeah, by the way, I have the elements here.
oh, that's gorgeous.
And also here.
Oh, that's great. So when we're done, can you pop that up
Yeah.
when we go back to the big screen? Okay, this is spectacular. Tell us about this.
I love it. I mean, I really, really love to illustrate for products.
Yeah.
And this has been also for the home decor class.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, sure. I did it when was it, last fall?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And also, you know, with this piece, I'm a big lover of blue. But at
Yes.
some point I started to take green in, and actually like also this year, I'm doing much more with green and I really like it.
Yes, you're kind of blue. It's kind of your signature. It's true, but I'm glad to see you also pulling in other colors. Gorgeous pattern. That
Yeah.
peacock feathers is gorgeous. So much to look at. Look at that. What is that? Is that a lady slipper flower?
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah.
Oh.
And it's also, yeah, already on fabric, I think. Like when you send out the newsletter of the home decor class, we got an answer and it was licensed for Kaufman.
Fantastic. That's
Yeah.
great. And you may think, well, Lilla, you're our agent. Don't you know all our jobs? No, I don't know all my artists' jobs. There's so many, 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 many of them. And also, yeah, that's my lame excuse, but I do know a lot of the jobs. This is so gorgeous. Tell us about this.
This has been for Menagerie this year in January.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
Menagerie is, I give assignments to my artists that I represent every fall, and then in January, and they work on them. And then in January, we do an event for art directors to look at the work that's been created by the artist from my assignments. So, yes.
yeah, I love the assignments. Actually, you know, I love them all and I wanted to do them all, but then I just got, you know, stuck with the first one and did so many things for the first one, the pretty things.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I love the different ways and also the pattern is really excellent, how it flows and moves and your eye goes around. It's not boxy. Another beautiful pattern. Tell us about this.
This has been also for the same theme, like pretty things and menagerie. And yes, sure. I mean, I love flowers, so I can always do this.
I'm going to go to Lynn Gaines. It's good to see you. She says, hi, Anke, I'm sorry if you already answered this, but do you use Procreate at all?
No,
No,
I just have my watercolors or gouache and I paint everything by hand and then scan it in and arrange it in Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, actually I wanted to have like since 2 years an iPad and Procreate, but I didn't buy it yet. So I work like this, and sometimes I'm like, should I not? Because it's like also it's how I work and what's also my hand, or how do you say it? I don't have the word at the moment. So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know,
It's the way you work. Yeah. Well, when I was an illustrator, at first it was just traditional media, and then computers came on the scene, and it was all before iPads, certainly, and certainly before Procreate. And I would do the same thing, scan in and move it in Photoshop, which was a revelation that you could actually move and cut and paste and everything, slide things around. So I do think that's a great way to work too. Annette C. Webb asks, do you add backgrounds digitally or as part of painting?
Oh, sometimes actually I always use like watercolor and scan it in and put it in and then adjust it also in Photoshop. But for this one, I just took like plain color. So sometimes, I mean, I decide how it looks. So sometimes I do it digital, sometimes it's scanned in.
Okay, great. Anna Marie MJ asks, this goes back to the book you illustrated. How did you feel when you finished the book?
Amazing. It was like really like, wow, big project.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was really proud about the book. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, let me go to the next one. And I will answer, I see we have more questions and feel free to add more questions, people. I love this piece. Tell us about this one.
This has also been for the Menagerie Lab 2019. And actually it's kind of a dream place, you know. I mean, I love to illustrate things I love. So it's like, I like to have plants and green around me. And also I thought like, wow, that must be so great to have such a place to relax.
Yeah, the assignment was making your own spa world. And I actually have an egg like that. It's outside and it's on a self-supporting post. It's not hanging, but I do love going to my egg, I will say. And this is, and how you just created a joyful environment, which actually is very appropriate for pandemic times. So great. Okay, questions. Let's see. Anonymous attendee asks, Anke, do you ever have to turn down work from being too busy, not feeling like it's a good fit, etc.?
Do I ever, God, let me think. Maybe I have to move some, but of being too busy, no?
Well, I think too, when we call you with the job, of course, all of our artists, when we call with the job, we don't say, here's your job. We ask them and they can always say yes or no, and the fee and the time and what it is. But, you know, the beauty of it is the work you put out is what you're going to attract, back to the earlier theme. And so typically Anke is going to get, any good art director is not going to hire Anke to do something in flat graphic style for like a computer game that's very digital or something, you know, like they match, they have an assignment and they want watercolor, they want what she does. So I would say the majority of the time our artists really get really good fits, and the art directors are seasoned and know to do that. And I know we have some art directors here watching, and we're so glad you are here. Okay, Brenda Harris says, hello, Anke. What kind of things do you do to find inspiration or encourage your creativity?
What kind of things I do? I think I look a lot around me in books and on Pinterest, but actually, I don't know. It's like I can't. I mean, I'm never bored or uninspired. I have the feeling it comes naturally out of me.
Mm-hmm.
I tune a lot in with myself over meditation and all these things, and I think it's just like I have so many images in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But then also like for seeing, sure, magazines. I love, for example, Flow and Pinterest. I have like lot of different boards. This inspires me. Yeah.
So great. Okay, let's look at your next piece. Love this. Well, Happy Holidays actually became a card. It was a personal piece she did, and it became a card. That's fabulous. Tell us about these. These are 4 cards.
These 4 cards. You know, actually the dream journal, it was also for Matt's bootcamp, and I sold them already, but I just made them as a journal too. And yeah, unfortunately I can't show you, but if you look on my Facebook page, you can see it, or I will post it on my website too. And yeah, I like this kind of dreamy things. And I just had like some weeks ago the thought, like, you know, when I was like, I think 15, I've been to Florida, and I brought a journal with me, and it was illustrated. And sometimes I think this also influenced me, like for illustration. And this also reminds me of this, what I bought then back in the time. And the other cards actually are like the green one and the Happy Holidays have been also for Menagerie to 2019. Yeah.
It's great that you did so much for all these, for the courses and the menagerie. Okay, let us move along. This is so beautiful. I know the one on the top right was for Better Homes and Gardens.
Yeah.
So beautiful. And there you are using green.
Yes,
Really
yeah.
happy to see that. It's a beautiful jade, deep jade. Okay, tell us about these pieces.
Yeah, it's my new love, the green, I think. Yeah, I put them in the portfolio also to show how I work. I mean, the typewriter, I had the sketch in winter. I also did it like for Menagerie this year, but then I didn't finish it for Menagerie. So I was like, okay, I really want to do it now. So this is actually like from 4 weeks ago. And I put these images to show how I work, that I draw in these elements and then put them later together in Photoshop.
Yeah, it's really great to see how you did that, and you'll be showing us some more of those, your sketchbooks afterwards. Beautiful. Here's
Funny. There you see the book. I have it here in real now.
Right.
Yeah.
I like how with this one, it seems like the flowers on the right look very, very layered and thick with your paint. They seem thicker somehow. Is that true?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, I've been drawing this. Usually I work like that. I do sketches and then I trace them on watercolor paper, and then I do the coloring. And this is really completely freehand. I started to do more freehand like recently and with gouache. So it's like just flowing in the moment.
So great. Yeah. That's beautiful. Okay, next one. Yes, Quarantine Bingo. This was in our activities booklet, which you can find. Kim, will you put in the chat where can people find the activities on the blog? You can tell us, Kim. Actually, Kim, just tell us.
Hi. Yes, you can find it on the website. We have a new PDF tab on the website where you can go there and download a whole bunch of PDFs from our artists, but also the activities is there too. And it's great because it's fantastic for this time when we all need a bit of extra things to do, especially with kids. So yeah, go check it out.
Yeah, thank you. That's right. Of course, it's on the PDF tab, which just went live, and it's called Activities, as Kim said. It's got activities that are done by our artists. About how many pages is that, Kim? Like 26 or something?
Yeah, I think it's even a bit more than that. It might be in the 30s. I can't quite remember.
And it's got games and things to cut out and paper dolls and all that. So Anke, so I asked my artists if they would like to contribute. This was when the pandemic first started, and we thought, what can we do to help? And so the artists made incredible, beautiful things. And Anke made this, which is so fabulous. Actually, I should print it out. I'm reminded of it again and do it. Visit a museum online. What a good idea. Virtual dinner with friends. This is wonderful. I love it.
Yeah,
Lettering is great too. Was it fun to do?
It was, and I had so much more ideas.
Wow.
I had a whole list. At first I sketched it out in my sketchbook, and then I was like, okay, I need to choose. And yeah, it was really fun to do. And also that was, you know what I really love? Sometimes I had this idea on a walk when I took a break, and then I went home and I was like, I just moved my work. I need to do this now. And yeah,
I
this
know
is,
how that is, how you just like have to push everything aside and do the thing you want to do. It's great. I love how you say send a postcard. That's a nice idea. Okay. Oh, this is another page in the Artivities book. So
yeah.
you can see it's Color Me and Make a Mobile, and you can fill in all these beautiful, you print it out on cardstock and color them in. And you even have color suggestions. Nice.
Yeah. And also I love butterflies, so I needed to do these.
Yes, of course. Okay, I love that. That character climbing up the ladders. Beautiful. So tell us about this.
This is also for Better Homes and Gardens for
Mhm.
the handy girl. Yeah, and I love her too. And what I really love, by the way, you know, when I grew up, my mom, she always did all the handy stuff at home. And when they did ask me to do this, and I really like to do this too, you know, that I did set design earlier for music videos and film. So I'm really also into all this handy stuff. And when they did ask me, I was like, yeah, it's a perfect job for me. I love this.
I know, I swear it's so psychic or something. It's like people really attract jobs that, like no one knew that you were handy and did set design and all that. And yet you get Handy Girl, the whole Handy Girl series. It's unbelievable. Let's see. Let's go. Annette C. Webb asks, how tight is your preliminary sketch before you do your finished painting?
How tight? Very tight. I mean, actually, yeah, sometimes it's a bit looser, but most of the time the sketch is like you see the figure then. Yeah.
Identical. And art directors love that. They don't want any surprises because they have discussed it with the editor or editors, and they want it to really work for the text, the manuscript. You can't veer off into, your own world. It has to support the text. That's the purpose of it. So, which you do beautifully here.
Thank you. Yeah, I also started for these, you know, I get the layout when I start before the sketches. And when I do the sketches, I also scan in the sketches and put them in the frame, which is in the layout, to see if everything matches and fits in.
Yeah. Great. Here's another one in that theme.
Yeah, I've been showing this
job for you.
Yeah, you know that I've been drawing every single brush. It's like, and they've been like tiny. Yeah.
Wow. I love your character. I always love the clothes you put on people and the hairstyles and all that. And I think that it's just, as an illustrator, you're a stylist. You're a location scout. You're a stylist. What you choose to illustrate has to be as interesting as how you illustrate it. And that's what's so great about what you do. Okay, let's see. Oh, here, look at that. Sketches. Good. Now we can see your tight sketches.
Yeah, right. This is like a project I'm doing right now. I'm almost, for cards. So these have been my sketches and the coloring start.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great to see. That's great. Okay. So I sent around to our artists this little worksheet that says, my happy future me. I did the black brush lettering, the black circle squares, and asked our artists to fill it in with, this was at the beginning of the pandemic and it was just so horrific and negative and worrisome. I wanted, what is your future me going to be like when the pandemic is over? And Anke did these beautiful, beautiful pieces, which we then, I think, put in the Matt's newsletter and our newsletter, right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And you see her sketches below and how tight they are. And then she goes to finish. I love how they look in my black lines. They're so like beautiful and delicate and colorful. It's really pretty. Okay, this is when I fell in love with you. You did this piece. I'm like, okay, I need to take this artist on. This is like undeniably fabulous. Not only the idea, but the people and the illustrations and your color palette, the whole bit. So tell us about this one.
This was for the second round of GTS.
Global Talent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you gave us this, you know, when you said like do a graphic novel page, and you gave us these items, and we needed to make up. That was actually, you know, I found this the most challenging assignment, because you needed also to make up the story for the page.
Right.
And I've been like, I think for 2 days I've been moving around ideas, and I was like, oh my God, what do I do? And it made me really nervous. And I had so many ideas, but it was like not clicking yet. And then at some evening, I just went to see some friends and was like, anyway, I just go now, and I know it will all come. Mm-hmm. And then at some point, I remembered that you always say like, do what you love. And I was like, what do I love? And I was like, oh, I want to live on a houseboat. That's the idea. And so, and I love flowers. So, and then I just, you know, I just had this idea, and then I was like, okay, I have my plan now, and I do it and go.
I love that. That's what you just said, Anke. And I love that you said, I went away and I knew it would come to me. And that kind of confidence and positivity, if you had gone away and said, I'm never going to figure this out, it's hopeless, you would have never figured it out, and it would have been hopeless, and I would not be your agent sitting here today interviewing you on this webinar. So it's really interesting how the mind is a powerful tool. And I know everybody is looking at this and thinking it's beautiful too. And also how you do the close-up of the postcard on the upper right, the medium shot on the left of Gustav and Feline, and then the medium shots, the long shot of the boat, and so forth. It's really, you know, it's very good graphically. It's really beautiful.
Yeah,
I love your
I
people.
loved it too, to work on this. Yeah, just to say on the mindset, you know, when I've been in GTS, I've been writing, or since May, I started to write down every morning in my journal, I'm going to win a special studio award. And I did it.
It's so interesting how many artists we've taken on. Like, who was it? What artist had a Post-it note that says, I'm going to be ready? Who was it? Yeah, Mara. Yeah, Mara definitely vibed it. It's unbelievable. And Susan came in one day, Susan McCabe. And Susan, are you here? I can't see my little chat. Where'd the chat go? Susan McCabe, who's an agent at the agency, came in one day and said, you know, Mara had been in the Global Talent Search. We really loved her work, but we hadn't taken her on yet. And Susan said, you know, I want to take on Mara, just out of the blue. I'm like, okay, let's take a look. Let's revisit. So that's a great story. Let us look. So again, we have the giveaway. You want to hold up the book that we're giving away? We have that in a sec. Time for a few more questions. And I want to tell everybody we are not having a webinar for 2 weeks, but we will be back again on July 9th with Sarah Papworth. And Sarah, you're here. Can't wait.
Yeah, and she just wrote that she put a screensaver with showing her as a winner. So she wiped it too.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, you did that too. Oh, is that what that means? You had a screensaver showing me as a winner. Wow. Jennifer Potter's here. I represent wonderful, lovely Jennifer. Did you vibe it? How did that work? And then on July 23rd, I will be interviewing our artist Julia Christians, who is from the Black Forest in Germany. Sarah Papworth. Oh, Kellyanne Dalton, who I rep. She kept a sticky note too. That is so great. I should take a survey of all of them. Oh, I mean, I vibed so much in my life, I'll tell you. I just like vibe so much. And, you know, you get in a deep meditative state. I recommend you meditate on a regular basis so you clear, you don't have to clear your mind. And in fact, I was thinking of this yesterday, but I want to tell you all, you don't have to, it's not about emptying your mind. It's seeing what's on your mind. I like to see what's on my mind and what am I feeling, rather than like just being on my phone all the time, you know, and swiping and looking and everything. So you want to see where you are. What are you thinking? What are your negative beliefs? So you can warmly and kindly look at those beliefs and go, you know, that's not serving me right now. What can I do? And so when you get in that calm place, you can then start vibing the things you want. Rocio says, that's why I like to journal in the morning when I first wake up. Me too, Rocio. Martina says, I love Thursdays since we have those amazing WebinARTs. Thank you. That's so cool. That's so cool. I'm just scrolling. Okay. So July 9, Sarah Papworth, mark your calendars, WebinART 12:30 Eastern Time, and July 23rd, Julia Christians. So the morning pages, says Nancy Salas.
Yeah, I do this, by the way, too. Like, I mix it with meditation, words and images and writing down, and it's really powerful.
So great. So let's go back to us. So let's see if we, oh, why don't you hold up your workbook, your sketchbook? People will love that.
Yeah, actually, I mean, let's see which pages I can, you know, this is actually, ooh, it's quite big, but this is, you know, to see how I work. This is actually from the page we just saw. I don't know if I have a sketch here of it. Yeah, here are more like sketches, you know, where I was like, and then later I colored this for the graphic novel page. Oh my God, where the camera. So yeah, and I like to do all these little items. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I love your objects.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love to do it. God, I don't know where. Do you see this?
Yes, it's so fantastic. Oh, turn that sideways. Let's look at that big, fabulous face. Wow. So you draw these on paper, obviously, and then slide them into this booklet, a portfolio kind of book?
I put this in to show it. So actually, this is what I brought also to the retreat.
Oh, so speed dating?
To see, to show how I work, because it's like all the sketches and then coloring.
I should say speed art dating at the retreat, not speed dating. Make sure that's clear, correct that.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
oh, that's fabulous. That's great. Yeah. Oh, we have a ton more questions, and then we're going to do the giveaway. So let's see. Kim, is there one here that you see that I should ask? Let's see. Here she goes. We can't hear you, Kim. I think you're muted.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure actually. I like that. Well, this is an interesting question from Martina Stuhlberger. I'm sorry, I don't know if I pronounce your name properly, but just about the differences between different countries and cultures, I thought was very interesting.
Hi, Anke from Austria. I know you love to use colors, but I've noticed that lots of illustrators here in Austria and Germany are much more limited, less bright, colorful, and whimsical in their art. Do you think there's some kind of difference in using colors between cultures and countries?
Actually, I don't think. I think it's more personal thing. I mean, yeah, this is how I feel it. So, and I see sometimes this, you know, in every, like all the different things in every nations and cultures.
Yeah. You know what? I think years ago, I noticed that German artists some tended to have darker palettes and some had brighter, but Americans tend to almost all have brighter.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know.
It's a very interesting question because I never thought about it. I mean, it just was like my feeling now what I answered. So, yeah.
I think it's different now, though. I think Germany is different than it was 30 years ago, too. You know, it's a happier country. I think maybe I should probably stop talking because I don't know exactly what I'm talking about, but but that's okay. I have an opinion anyway. Okay. You are so good with flowers, says Anna Bianchi. Do you garden?
No, I don't. I mean, I dream of a garden at my garden studio, but I don't. I mean, I learned a lot from my grandma, and sure, when I grew up, we also had a garden. So yeah, I think this.
Great. And, you know, you see flowers. Okay. And the last question I have for you is, what are you reading or watching right now?
Me, actually, not much, because I can't even tell you the book I'm reading. I have a book next to my bed because I like to read some pages before I fall asleep. But right now it's like I'm busy with projects, and I started actually a new process of meditating and vibing, and I do it in the morning and the evening. And actually I'm like busy with my project and then being outside a bit, and then this my routine. So I don't watch much things.
Well, you know, we talked about this before we went live, and I think that's a fantastic answer. And, you know, some people are just sort of blocking out reality by binge watching. Some are binge watching because it's actually really, really fun to do and wonderful. I'm not knocking it. It's a great thing. I'm always looking for a good show to binge watch, but I tend to be doing more reading myself. But that you're meditating is a wonderful way to tune into this phase we're in and feel, you know, be in touch with what we're feeling and process it and explore it. So I think that's pretty good. Rocio says sometimes it's good to do a media cleanse. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I just wanted to say something. You know, some people, I mean, I know a lot of illustrators who really watch shows next to work. I can't do this. When I work, I'm, you know, I need to be focused on my work. And what I like to do is listening to podcasts or music. So I get a lot of inspiration over this.
Oh, well, tell us what you're listening to then.
It's most of if podcasts, it's also like mindset podcasts, then about growing, you know, which also like, yeah, give me new insights and thoughts. I like these kind of things.
Any particular name of one you remember?
Actually, it's a German one, so it's called, I like the one like Happy, Holy, and Confident, or yeah, but it's a German. But she has like, you know, she recently, some weeks ago, she had an interview with Liz Gilbert. That was amazing, and it's in English. So if you want to listen to this, I really can recommend this. And yeah, there's also another podcast about money mindset. So yeah, these kind of things.
That's great. So let me just see something here. So we can now move along to our giveaway, where you can win Anke's beautiful book of Anne Frank. And so for those of you new to the show, what we do is I'm going to say a category, and you can guess in the chat as many guesses as you want, as often as you want. And Kim, our producer in the background, she's also an agent for the agency, but she is in this capacity. She is involved with looking to see who answers correctly first. She will do her best to try to find the first answer, the correct answer. So again, you can guess as often as you want. And the category is no surprise. Get ready. Oh, let me get my chat.
Okay, I'm ready. So okay. Apologies if I don't see the first one, but I will do my best.
Yes, and she will, the one that she spots, because they go so quickly, that will be the winner. And maybe it's not the exact first one. And the subject, the category is flower. Oh my God, look how fast.
Okay, stop. Someone said it already. Stop.
Okay.
Oh, that was quick.
Oh
Bloom Bauer, it was peony. So
my
well done, Bloom.
Oh, wow.
You can email me at kim, at lillarogers.com, and we'll organize sending out your giveaway prize. Thank you, everyone.
Yay. Wow, we have to make them harder. We have to make them really hard.
I still don't have the animal I was thinking of.
So fantastic. Look at these.
I love that her name is Bloom, too.
Chartreuse, yes.
I know. Chartreuse.
Forever.
I love that. I told my husband, like, whenever we start the competition, people do chartreuse because that's one of my most favorite colors. Well, I think so I told you about, did I cover everything, Kim? I did, right? The next times and everything.
I think so, yes.
Okay, good. Well, Anke, thank you so much. I know you pretty well, but I learned a lot, and it was absolutely wonderful to see your beautiful work and be with you. And I'm so glad we had this chance. And thank you, all our viewers, for participating and listening and watching. And we're so glad that you tell us you enjoy these WebinARTs. So thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you in 2 weeks, I think, or 3.
Yeah, thank you too. It was really fun to do.
Thank you. Thank you.